Hello YouTube, and I have another video I want to share with you about narcissism and surviving narcissistic abuse. First off, I want to tell you that the reason I make these videos are really more for myself. They're also for anyone who might be going through this kind of abuse situation that I've been going through. And realizing and saying it, like speaking it, is so important, that this is abuse. Like when someone is yelling at you and screaming at you in rage, and you're not like, you're not crazy to think that that's abusive. It's verbally abusive, especially if they're calling you names and if they are making up things that aren't true about you. But the yelling and screaming, people get away with it because they think, oh, well, this is how they are. They get emotional. That rage is one of the key things that narcissists do. So in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about rage, and I'm going to talk a little bit about how to spot a narcissist when you're having an argument, when you're in that situation where they're raging at you. And everyone can have a moment of, well, I got angry, I got mad, When something dramatic happens, like let's say you find out that someone is cheating on you, or you find out that someone is lied to you about something, there are lots of times where you can get so upset where you have rage. I understand that. The sad part is, for the narcissistic victim, the person who is in the narcissist relationship and is the abused party, when they try to bring up something like, hey, I found this email and it says that you're having an affair, or you went out to meet someone, or I found out that you're on Tinder, or you're on Ashley Madison, or I find out that you actually have pictures on your text messages of naked people, like the mother of your children, your ex or baby mama, has sent you naked pictures. Instead of like presenting it in a angered, like, I've just found this out and I want to bring it to your attention. You're not screaming, you're not hollering. What happens with the narcissist is they turn it around and start yelling at you, saying, why are you going through my phone? Why are you looking at my emails? And are you so insecure just because I can't control when someone sends me an email? I can't control when someone sends me a text of themselves naked. That doesn't mean we're doing anything. You're just insecure. You have a problem. Like, you're insecure. You have issues. And it makes you feel like, okay, I have to try to justify the fact that I found this. Number one, I got to figure out a way to justify that. Then I have to try to figure out a way to explain that I'm really not being insecure. I'm really want you to just like confess, say that you did this. I will forgive you. Just be honest. But what we have to understand about the narcissist, they're never going to confess. And if you forgive them, that's on you. The thing is, if someone doesn't confess and repent and change, and me being a Catholic, that's how we view things. You confess, you repent, you change your ways. And I'm not saying it's going to happen 100% of the time, but that is the goal with trying to have reconciliation with someone, with trying to have a relationship with someone where you actually are, like, you're able to forgive. You need to have that confession. You need to have that, I'm sorry, please forgive me. I'm never going to do that again. I didn't mean to hurt you. And then you can cry it out. You can hug it out. Go to therapy. Do whatever you need to do to work through that and get back to a place of trust again. That is what a normal person would try to get if they find out these things. But we're talking about a narcissist. With a narcissist, if you bring up anything like that, it becomes a gigantic fight, and you're the one who's going to be yelled at. And he would yell at me so close, so literally his face is here. Like he's screaming, like the spit would be spurring at me. And it was because I went through his email. It was because, how dare I, bring this to him when he's got other things to worry about. He's paying all these bills. He's got work he's got to be concerned about. He's not concerned about some bitch sending him some email, and I'm sitting here like, okay, hmm, he is paying the bill, so I guess I need to be quiet and allow him to focus on work. Um, I guess this person just has got a crush on him and he can't control it. So then I start to say, okay, I'm not going to bring this up again. But then I bury it and keep it down inside, and it's eating me up inside. And what happens with that is it makes you sick. You get depressed, you get sad. But you may want to bring it up later and think, okay, we'll talk about it later, or talk about another situation pops up that's similar, and you kind of bring it up and you're like, well, remember when you did this like last time, and now I see you're doing it again. And then it becomes another rage. And the next thing they do, when they realize that they're kind of caught and that they've screamed and hollered, what I would do is I would leave. I would get in my car and I would leave. I'm out of there. I'm not going to be screamed at and yelled at, especially when my daughters can hear it. I didn't want them to hear the fighting constantly. So I would just get in the car and I would leave. Sometimes I'll go to a hotel, spend the night. Sometimes I go to my friends, my mother's, wherever. I just needed to be in a place where I wasn't being yelled at. So when I come back to the house, there's silence. It's a silent treatment. It's not, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have screamed at you. I'm sorry that you spent. And when you're gone, it's not, I'm calling my wife to see where she is. It's just silence. And the silence can drive you crazy because you're like going, okay, he's not talking to me. I try to talk to him. He ignores me. I don't know what I'm supposed to do to try. And this went on for 20 something years of this. Every 2 to 3 months, we'd have something where maybe it was something that happened in the past, or maybe something that happened in the future that I was worried about. Like, I want to invest in something, or I want to, have a business. I need you to help me with a business plan. And it become a gigantic fight. And to me, I'm thinking, this is not a big deal. He should be like literally grateful that I'm the kind of wife who does not constantly pick at him about things like, you never take me on dates. We don't go places. We don't go on vacation. Like, those are the things that I really wanted to talk about. But I couldn't even get to those things because I'm so busy trying to just have a regular life where we're not fighting. Like, there was not 1 year that went by where I didn't have that rage that turned to me leaving, me coming back, and getting the silent treatment for like a week. And finally, what would happen to break the silent treatment would be me doing something for him, making him his favorite meal, bringing it to him on a tray, and, watching a show with him, and kind of sweeping under the rug whatever the issue was, and not to talk about it again. And that's how we would work for almost 25 years. We met in 1999. We got married in 2002, and literally, I can't remember 1 year that went by where there was not some kind of blow up, some kind of major fight within 3 months. I mean, it would go good for like 3 months, and then bam, something would happen. And sometimes you just get tired of that. So I think for me, I started getting to the point where I was just like, I'm not going to talk to him. I'm not going to bring up things. And if I am doing something, like I started to go to school for myself, I had to pay for the school by myself because I didn't want to ask for money for that. I started to be involved with the community center in my neighborhood. I started being involved in other groups. I started focusing on starting a reselling business, and also trying to have a business with my CPR training. So I try to focus on those things and not focus on things at home with him. And the sad part about that whole cycle was that my daughters saw and thought that I was retreating away from the family, which I was, because I needed to make money. I needed to figure out a way not to be caught in that cycle. So I think that was not good for them. But I really didn't want them to lose their father and me get a divorce, which is where we are now, 25 years later. But the sad part is I taught my daughters during this time. Yeah, this is what I taught my daughters. I taught my daughters that it's okay to have someone yell at them. It's okay if you leave and come back and they don't talk to you. It's okay to be in a situation where you know that they're cheating and you're not saying anything, where you know that they're not giving you financial assistance, but you're not saying anything. They won't give you access to bills. They won't give you access to money. They won't give you access to making decisions in the household about anything. And my daughters saw that, and they're women. So now I'm worried that they're going to end up making the same mistakes. So to make a long story short, the reason why I make these videos is because I want to be able to help other women. If I can help one person to see this rage and see this behavior and get out of it before it's 25 years, then I'm doing something. I would love for my daughters to be able to see that. I would love for my daughters to be able to learn from that. But I don't know. Leave in the comments if I helped you at all. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And if not, watch my other videos. And hopefully at some point I'll be able to reach someone. God bless, and you guys have a great day.